Alright, we are recording in the last spell because the key was originally provided to me by Tinsley PR for the Arcade Crew. That's right, because isn't it? Yeah, published by the Arcade Crew, music by Algorithm, Ishtar Games, that's the developer. I just remember because that was something I always said when I was doing the review playthrough videos. There's Ishtar Games because it was right there, and it's just so convenient. So I was having to actually say the Arcade Crew too. But anyway, I was provided the key originally to review the game, and I did really enjoy it. It is an early access game, and what I decided to do at the time, and I've already done this with Going Medieval, that, early access games, it's kind of weird to review them, since, you could have significant updates change them. And also, you care about what the final release date is. So I decided what I would do is, when there's a significant update, which there has been for this, that I would then use that for doing the weekend stream. So that's what I'm doing here. And I do have some stuff going out here, including some of the stuff from the some of the changes in the update here. There's a new map which we're not going to be able to see. Unfortunately, as much as I really do enjoy this game, I've not been able to put that much time into it, been focused on many other things. But this is, legitimately one of those games. It's like Loop Hero, in a way, for me, in that it'll always be installed because it's relatively small, and if I have the hour and a half or so to put into it, it'd be great to just put that in, because it is a fun game, and it is, just the constant putting time in does help you. But anyway, if I had beaten the first map, I would then have the new Glenwald map. That's actually even the name of the update, Glenwald Calling. AoE, it sounded like, cannot be rotated, which is something that was a little annoying previously. Some stat caps are shown. A lot of actually rebalancing stuff. If you're interested in the game or you have the game, definitely look through the patch notes for this. There's a lot of interesting stuff there. And also one that I saw, and it's like, this is very good. Pretty sure... Okay, yeah. There was a warning that if you already had it, were in the middle of a run, and you would stop. That was one thing that came a while ago with an update. But that this update... it would break things. So they have the previous version on a beta channel, so you can go in there, select that. It's in the patch notes, because I don't remember the details, but you can find it there. So you can go back and basically finish the run, and then update to the newest version, and be able to, just go with it however you want. But yeah, one of the changes that they made, and it's like, thank you, this is so good. A change to consumables, in that they refresh every night, instead of it being you buy them and then once you use them up, they're gone. Which is something that would have annoyed the hell out of me. And is also part of the reason that I never actually used them. Because it's like, why? I could spend the gold on these things that won't be useful once, they're gone. Or I could spend it on armor or weapons, and that's, permanent benefit. I don't know why it's not really doing anything I alt-tabbed. Okay. I alt-tabbed because it's like, I hate it when that happens. There have been some other changes as well. This is still a little annoying. That just, on the scroll wheel, if I move one click forward, it doesn't zoom in. I have to do two. Okay, so I got that wand. Is that a longbow? Or is that just... That is a short bow? Oh, yeah. That's right. Longbow has a special, talons on it. And a hammer. Okay. So they're going to be over here. He needs to be up there. You can go there. Short bow. No, actually, you can go here. That should be... Okay. I'm learning all over again. I really do wish I had been able to put more time into this. They also really changed how mana works. A lot of costs were increased. That's... Actually... Oh, no, that's what they did. Oh, wait, okay. That's their change. I do wish that, you could actually just change it up here. But you know what? I understand why they wanted for the design that it's, no, if you're facing this way, it's like this. If you're facing this way, it's like that. But that they've put these lines in there so you know where that changes, and if you're on it, that you can control it. I'm happy with this. Alright, I mean, that, like I said, that is, I do wish that I could turn it wherever, that I could rotate it no matter where it is, but I will accept this. This is a very good middle ground. Okay. That's what they added. Okay. There was something else in the notes about the AoE and how it was shown. That's what they mean. That is actually pretty good. Pretty good one. So you won't be able to kill anyone, right? Neither will you. Well, you can with that, though. Alright, and you... potential to. Okay, then. That is not what I meant to do. Really? I killed it? Cool. Another change, if an enemy dodges an attack, it no longer has any debuffs applied to it. Apparently that was something before, and yeah, that's basically a bug. I will admit that. Seriously. There. Well, him having to move around. Well. I wanted to be able to get him there and then back. There? Actually, no, you stay up there. Yeah, actually, I didn't even realize you'd be able to make that shot. You're fine where you are. And I do have other things to talk about, but I figure you can let's try to get through the turn first. I don't remember when the change may have been, but you can now actually turn off it showing you some of that. Alright, so what's the other stuff I got here? I want to talk about the CPU thermal article, because I finally finished that off. But that can wait. Yeah, there's three things that I can talk about. One, that might not be as impactful as some of us would want it to be. Wow, that did not do nearly as much as I was hoping. Sure. Wow. Apparently China has decided to declare all cryptocurrency transactions illegal, which hey, maybe that's gonna help GPU prices come down. But did see one thing that apparently this is something that they've done before. Oh, I can't. Okay. That way. This one. See? Oh, so he does need to be there. And do that. Yeah, so because of that, the fact that, China has done this before does kind of mean then that we can't necessarily expect it to actually lead to pricing dropping far enough that it then produces GPUs going to a sensible value. Hey, maybe it'll still happen, but it sounds like, that's not really what people are expecting. Saw that apparently AMD has, for the first time, managed to claim 16% of the server market, which is very significant. Trying to decide how I want it. Did kill. Pull him back. Actually. Nope. There. Alright, no. Oh, I can't hit. How? But yeah, AMD managing to achieve that is significant. Because, I mean, yeah, we mostly care about the, consumer side because we are consumers, but that's where the money is. I mean, that is AMD getting that is very significant. Achieving that is very significant. It's like that's the kind of thing that makes that you would think would have Intel being like, oh, we definitely are falling behind. We are not competing as we want to be. But it's also, they got Alder Lake coming, so, and they're at least going to be very hopeful that will compete as they want to. I know I saw one thing, a rumor that is putting Alder Lake as competitive, at least in single thread. Of course, they don't put that in the headline. Competitive or beating even like a Threadripper and such. But it's like, yeah, but Intel. And it is weird that that AMD has any CPUs that win at single thread, which they do. But I mean, that was very significant, and it would not surprise me in the least if that might not be lasting. But it is, a lot of things today. I wanted to select it. A lot of things today, you do care about the multi-thing. Like right now, I mean, it's like single thread is okay. This game is in theory going to run a little bit better because of that, but Perfect. Don't... Oh. Nah. Do that. So, yeah, just the whole, like, right now, yeah, single thread may help this game run, which doesn't need a whole lot of help, but it's the multi-thread that's letting me also record it using x264. So it's, you know, single thread is important, but, you know, you need to also be very strong in multi-thread today, at least for a number of people, like me. Let me... I hate the armor. I want to get rid of that. There. Go there. You're stopped there, but I can do that. It's fine. Who has you have? Wait. Oh no, yeah, you have. Well, I mean, there's nothing I'm gonna spend it on. So yes. I also wasn't sure if they would end up. Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice that guy was up there. Well, yeah. Alright. Now what else? But yeah, the 16% I mentioned, that China thing I mentioned. And one thing I have here, that... Okay, this is actually... Yeah, that didn't change that much. One thing that I saw mentioned in the notes was that, like, there's gonna be a bias for the materials that you get. Was like at earlier nights you get more, at later nights you get less, or maybe I was thinking, maybe I misread it. Don't know. There. There. Oh. See, with these, it's between these two. This one would definitely go on him. This is also pretty. Yeah. Because it would boost his magic damage. And the amount of damage that he does. Yeah, I think that actually, the utility of it, I feel, would be helpful. They also changed around the perks. Yeah. Yeah, let's do. Yeah, I'm. Let me go through this stuff, and then I'll get to some of the news. All right. Also, just realized I forgot to pull some up today. So, just give me a moment. Fortunately, this will like keep playing the music in the background while I do this. There we go. Oh, we did also update that? Oh yeah, I guess we did. I'll worry about that. I'd forgotten to pull up the text document that I'll keep the notes in, considering my impressions of like how this has how it feels, how it plays with the update. Yeah, because I think with that, yeah, he now does over 100. Do you think that will prove helpful? The only thing here, ooh, and actually, if it's taking care of a loss there, that's right. Huh. That might be what that note was. The stat caps are shown, so maximum of 95%. Maximum 500, wow. And then the min-max there. See, I think I'll do that just so that it's kind of balanced. It has been long enough that I do have to think. Yeah. This has changed a little bit, I think. Do that, I'll get 25 out of it. Only do it the one time. That'll be alright. Oh. There. Should have looked here first, actually. That's a longbow. Okay. Yeah, so now it's per night. It's like, oh yeah, that stuff. Of them though, it's really only that one I think I care about. There's a difference between those. Man, it's definitely a shame. None of these weapons are all that interesting as they are. That still. Yeah. Come on. There we go. I was like clicking too slowly. Alright, Oh, he's one-handed. There. Why is he one-handed? Or, like, is he actually one-handed? So is he. What? One-armed. Wow, I completely did not realize that. You do want to actually read these things. I don't need this. I'm good with however they look. Alright, orange, gold. You actually can come. You stayed there. You can go there. Alright, so let me see. What's the other stuff? Yeah, one thing I saw that's like, this is gonna make Apple unhappy, isn't it? That the EU is at least contemplating. Oh yeah, that's right. Still have some time. The EU is contemplating, or is actually making it where you will have to, like mobile devices will have to have USB-C for charging. And it's like, I mean, yeah, that's gonna piss them off. Because Apple has been consistently using their own, basically no purpose to them, ports for years. I mean, seriously, I have an iPod Touch, and it's actually one of the first generation of iPod Touches. It's fairly old. Still works. Helps that I've not updated it for many, many years. But anyway, it I don't. Oh no, that. But it's like, you know, on one side of the cable, it is the special connector that Apple uses because that's what Apple does, and on the other side, it's USB. So it's like no matter what, it's capped to whatever the USB is. I mean, it's like, I mean, do any of those special connectors actually have any, you know, like thing that they do differently? And it's like it's just routing wires a little differently than USB. That doesn't help anymore. I mean, it's. I know for one of them they claim that, oh, it's so much better because it allows the phone to be thinner and it's the only way to do this. It's like, yeah, except that then you had the Razr smartphone come out and it was like, yeah, it's even thinner and it's using USB. So, yeah, it's pretty stupid. So it's like, that's actually something that will... What? Who do I... Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, but that's even why I put it on that, except I can't actually hit any. Damn. That... I didn't plan out as I should have. It's not that bad, dude. It's also not that great. It's not a good setup. Well, this'll help. That actually could have been worse. There. But yeah, the pushing people, or pushing Apple to go to USB-C is probably actually going to help a lot of people because it's like, hey, we're going to have a standard now that, you know, works with things and works with various cables. But I mean, it's Apple; they'll probably figure something out. This is also in one spot I did see it described as it being for charging. So I could believe that they might do something wonky, like where it's like, oh yeah, you can connect it by USB-C to charge it, but not by data or something. It's like, I don't put anything past Apple. I don't remember if I actually did. I shouldn't have done that. That was a waste. I don't remember if I actually did it, but I remember at least as the joke for an April Fool's Day, I was gonna write something, and maybe I didn't do it. By news item that Apple was going to introduce its own version of USB-C that when you plug it in one way, it's faster. Because, you know, the whole USB-C, it's reversible. It's like, no, they're going to make it polarized again. You go there. You go there. You probably find one. That was productive. Okay. Is yeah. Development. Partly, I just want him to be able to get out of it. Like him to back. So one of the other things that I have is, and I don't know the full context to it because I haven't looked too closely, but apparently like NVIDIA's working on a DLAA, so Deep Learning Anti-Aliasing is what it's supposed to stand for, and I'm seeing some describe it as like it'll be the a portion of DLSS just without the upscaling too, and it's like that I wouldn't want in an anti-aliasing. I mean, it's very possible that whatever it is that DLAA may end up being, that it is actually its own thing. They may have learned from DLSS, but that it itself is its own thing. I kind of hope so, because I wouldn't want to trust it. And I made a note on what exactly it is specifically, because I know it's something that every now and then I forget what it is. Yeah, that's right, because DLSS is more so for a whole image, whereas anti-aliasing, you don't want that on the whole image. Yeah. I mean, think about it. TAA is whole image, and people hate it because they say it softens the image, and definitely in some cases it. But why would you think that this will be better? And don't say because of the machine learning, the AI stuff. It's like people need to understand. And I was going off about this. Was it last week or was it the week before? I don't remember now. But that all machine learning is educated guessing. That just because something has machine learning or has modern AI does not mean it's superior to anything. It just means it has a system by which it can guess, and it can make better guesses than not. But it still is it is making guesses. But I should also point out, though, because I commonly was describing DLSS in terms of being like SMAA, where it seemed like it was just using this trained neural network to enhance the morphological engine. If that is accurate, then this would make perfect sense to do. But it is just one of those, it is a different problem that DLSS solved, the upscaling and enhancement that DLSS does is a different problem, is a different solution to a different problem than anti-aliasing. So, just, don't rely on it being like, oh, because of, DLSS that means that this is going to be great. It's like, unless they have adapted it properly, that is not really a reason to trust it, to believe that it's going to be any good. Alright, let's see what you get. Actually, hang on. This actually might be good. Oh, yeah. That still worked out alright. That I was expecting to do more damage to. Still's action? Oh, that's right, I didn't use all of yours. Ah, damn. And I don't want to waste the mana. And what is it? It's an Elder Scrolls thing that's getting DLA, I think. And DLSS. But it's all one other thing though that I do want to point out with if DLA is again analogous to SMAA, I would very much feel then that if NVIDIA does limit it to the RTX GPUs, part of what SMAA did that made it different, made it superior, was baking certain things in to make it much more efficient, and also just improving the algorithm so it did a better job of recognizing what was aliasing, what was not. But it's like that is... SMAA is pretty light and runs on basically anything. It's a very simple shader in some regards. So if NVIDIA's like, oh, well, we're just in DLAA, it's this next great thing because everything NVIDIA does is the next great thing according to NVIDIA. If they still are like, oh, and you have to have tensor cores to be able to run this, that I will fully not believe that you need tensor cores to run it. I mean, I'm sorry, because some of this stuff you definitely would be able to do not on them. Because like one of the things that SMAA did to make itself more efficient, and this is pretty clever, is it so that's where you're gonna stick for now. Is the way the morphological engines work is they basically identify you can't actually, right there. There's aliasing on the side of the box there. For this game, it works. You don't need to worry about it. But it would look at that and be like, oh, that's supposed to be a smooth diagonal line. So I'm now going to take this pixel and the pixel next to it and blur them, which the more accurate term would be filter them, where you're just taking the information and you're applying a filter so that they smooth out across, okay? One of the things that SMAA did to improve its speed and also its accuracy is it made a image that consisted of multiple gradients in it, going from green to red. At least that's how they showed in the paper behind SMAA, explaining SMAA. Because that was the filtering already calculated out. It was pre-computed and just there, so now the SMAA engine can just look it up. So it doesn't need to calculate it all itself. DLAA, you might be able to, all the benefits that it might offer, you might be able to apply it to SMAA or something else in a similar manner. It's like, already have it baked in there and figure that out. And I do remember something years ago now, where some researchers, they had worked on the problem of cloth physics. And what they did was, this is actually that. Yep. Perfect. So what they did is they had like supercomputers, or a supercomputer, crunch the numbers to come up with basically all the physics, very accurate simulation of cloth physics. They then just stored that in a file, okay? Such that another system could then just read the file, could just look it up, and find out from that what it was supposed to do. So it was pre-computed physics, but the end result would be far greater speed and accuracy on an arbitrary GPU, essentially. And it's just, that can be applied for other things as well. It's just they're not applying it that way, it seems. I did not mean to move him. Fortunately, I can undo it. Excellent. But yeah, I mean, something like that, where you pre-compute it and then work it all out, and then have just that file to refer to. I don't know why you don't see more of that done today. Just because that really should be a benefit to a lot of things. And I also remember part of the research, they actually had come on, brain, turn over. They also compressed it and threw out a lot of stuff because you don't need everything to be perfect. But like, you don't need all of the information. Yeah, that'll be good there. You can get away with some of it being lacking. There. Aw, damn it, that's right. This is actually a two-handed thing. That is so damn annoying. Okay. There. I'll just have to sell this. Wow. It's actually less damage? What? Yeah, actually, yeah, that makes sense. Looking at its stat. Ooh. That's one-handed. And the pistols are nice. So yeah, let's do that. Wait. That's this stuff. Then there's other things I can think about. That actually is a bad idea. That actually not be a bad thing. But let me do that. Actually, that would be much better. Actually, no, it wouldn't be as good. Because it's really nice on something where it's like, oh, it's now free. Yeah, I'll still take it. Because it'll still be a benefit overall. Oh, he has 2. Nice. Forgot that. Sure, why not? Don't think there's nothing really anything useful there either. Wow. Alright. See if we're lucky. Not that much. Okay, that can. Wait, what? I just forgot about this? Oh no, I only did it the one time. Yeah, actually that. Okay. And by the way, yes, I'm intentionally avoiding going to the place to spend points. Why am I not allowed to build one? I'm sure there's a reason, I just don't remember what it is. How long have I been going? About an hour. Okay, so I actually should be stopping. Because I don't want this to be too long. In which case then, yeah, I should just stop now and leave this decision for later? Although, might as well do this. Don't think that I have any new information. like new to unlock, calculators new to see. Yeah, that's right. I hadn't kept playing enough to have her revealed. This, to be clear, only means that the center can take more damage, which doesn't particularly interest me, because basically, if the enemies get to it, I'm not likely to survive. So more health there isn't going to help me. Right. I do not remember some. I'm actually not gonna. I'm gonna keep trying to build that up. Yeah, it was at that I turned down the setting for it, and I mentioned earlier that you can turn some of this stuff off. There's now this, which I'm not doing, but that is good to have. Yes, this was added frame limit, which currently is only making a difference here at the menu because it was at 60 in the main game. Audio controls changed, which every time I was trying to do that, I had to hit the function. So it was a little annoying. Actually, quit. It's like I said, I do need to be wrapping this up. I didn't even take advantage of the potions, did I? But regardless, I mean, it's like, yeah, this is. I am very glad to see the improvements. Any of the changes really. I'm just trying to, because I want to put information into the notes on it. It's going to be helpful if I open the web page up with the patch notes in a browser than just in Steam. And I'm sorry that my brain is a little scared. It's a little bit harder in this than in Mad Max to think and talk about other things. But yeah, I covered the updates to this, mentioned the European Union and the USB-C thing. AMD hitting 60% in servers. Which, I mean, that's... Something else about that number that is worth noting is the contracts involved with that would be for years. So chances are you'll see AMD's numbers continue to climb, and also a lot of times you don't purchase the latest, or, well, I shouldn't put it like that. Even if Intel with Alder Lake or whatever their new Xeon is, because actually I don't know if the next Xeon is based on Alder Lake, but in any case, even if that is significantly better than AMD EPYC, it could still be years before you actually see AMD losing market share there, because you don't make the purchases for servers just when you need the server. You plan for that years ahead. So, and you'd also potentially be, working out special custom stuff. I mean, it is a multi-year process involved with those contracts. So this 16% started years ago, so we'll probably see that continue to climb for a little bit, even if Intel is really able to win back a lot of performance crown. So it would, could be some years before you'd see the trajectory for AMD really start turning back down. But of course, AMD is going to have their opportunity to respond. So basically, competition is good, and you're seeing AMD successful competition proving itself out in the server market with that number, and that is significant. Just it is. Covered that. Mentioned about the DLA stuff. The only other things I have mentioned here is the CPU thermal article. So that I only put it up on GitHub because it's the main thing with the article is reviewing the scripts, overhauling the scripts and such, documenting them, which I don't think OCC really cares so much about. I mean, just, do you really want to read an article just talking about the scripts behind the statistics or how the data is collected? I kind of doubt it. So, and while there is some fresh data there, it's not that much. So that is just on my GitHub. You can see it there. I put something in. I made a post on the forum thread for the CPU thermal scripts article that did come out at the beginning of the year. That did not cover much of the scripts. If you are interested in that, you can check out that article. You can check out the GitHub, find it there. I also have updated the scripts on the GitHub because those have been up since the beginning. If you're interested in running them yourself. And for those that don't know, basically last year I devised and developed a script, well, multiple scripts, that would load put a load on a CPU for, it would run the load for an hour, but it would start recording data 5 minutes before. And these are just the default values. You can't change it. It'll start collecting data 5 minutes before, run a load for an hour, like Cinebench for a solid hour. And then it'll also record data for, by default, the same length as the test period after, so an hour of load and then an hour of cooldown, in order to see how the numbers work out. And like all that stuff is in there and automated. With this overhaul, I added, well, actually no, Cinebench R23 was already in there for a while, and I did, when I got Prime 95 working, update the scripts, some other things, but mainly what I had changed since like a 1.1, I guess you could put it, for the scripts. I really did a lot more with the R work, but the Python script that launches everything, manages all that, that has been pretty stable for a while. But no, the R scripts have definitely seen some improvements. So that's better graphs, better data processing, because there were some issues where like certain seconds were like measured, like there were two measurements at 1 second in some cases, or you'd see a second skipped. I put something in there that would shift the data appropriately to fill in those gaps, because a lot of times you would see a second doubled and then a second miss either before or after that. So I set something up to find that, and then it'll take one of the doubles and move it forward or back to fill that missing hole. Which, I mean, even if you want to be like, oh, well, you know, that's not the actual measurement for that, it's like, it'll be close enough. I mean, we're looking at, it's a measurement a second for an hour. That's 3,600 seconds. Having it technically off by maybe a quarter second in there, not a big deal. Really isn't. So yeah, that's some of the changes in there. Also added some other stuff. They really are in better shape now. So that article's up my GitHub. That means with that done, I can get to work editing the GPU thermal script article. That again is kind of like what I had put out last year. Well, not last year, at the beginning of this year. I worked on it last year though. But I overhauled the scripts. There's some more improvement. I think I made more improvements to the Python script there, but I could be wrong on that. But definitely the R scripts got a lot of changes there, and added some new features. So I'm looking forward to getting through all that. Hopefully it won't be long, so that I can put that out. And I do have so much data there, and I do think interesting data, that portion of the article I will be putting up on OCC. But it could be like 2-3 weeks, even of like very dedicated focus on editing it. That article is that long. But don't forget, that length is including covering the scripts, And it's also with the data, I've got 8 different configurations, at least 4 different tests per configuration. That's why that's why even with the data portion, that's going to be fairly large. But hopefully I will be able to, with the editing, cut that down, because I know some of it is overly verbose. But also just, how I have it formatted, hopefully that'll be readable without it being just walls of text, I mean. So there's that, and one other thing, I have finally done something I have actually never done before in all my years of building computers. Which I'll grant, it's not like I built too many computers, they're always, just my personal computers. I finally have bought an air cooler. Basically, it's the AIO I've been using in this desktop with the Threadripper. It's an old Corsair H110, which is nice. It's a 280mm on there, and it's been working quite well ever since I've been using it. But when I started using on this, it was already 2 or 3 years old, because I was using it on the previous build. I didn't initially use it on this. I had gotten one of the Enermax all-in-one coolers that's got the full TR4, the full Threadripper cold plate. But they apparently made those things wrong. And even though I did get an RMA replacement, my understanding is it took more than that one revision that this one is from before they actually got that working right. And even then, I'm not sure if people trust it anymore. So, but yeah, so I want to change this one out either this weekend or next weekend. I got a Noctua cooler and also the A12 by 25 fans from Noctua. So they're, they're higher end fan. Got 2 of those, put them on there. So that I'll put those on there. So that should be quite good, even if it isn't quite as efficient at cooling as the H110 is, being a 280mm radiator. But the thing is that one of the fans in it died. And one is enough, apparently. I mean, it's like I've been recording, which, for over an hour. So this is definitely, it has, it's been under load. And the temperature is 52 degrees. So even with only one fan actually pushing air through that 280mm radiator, it's still pretty damn cool. Now, true, right now it's actually not that heavy of a load because it's a thumbnail. But yeah, so it's more so because, and this isn't the first time a fan has failed on that. Though I managed to get an RMA replacement for that fan, but it's out of warranty now. The cooler's out of warranty. When that one fan did fail, it was like a month or 2 short of the warranty ending, and that was a few years ago. So yeah, I'm going to. I just feel like it's time, so that I don't need to worry about the pump failing at some point or the coolant leaching out of the tubing or anything like that. So I basically felt it was time to finally change that out. This weekend, next weekend, don't know when. But we'll do that. And because I will now have a still technically functional, if old, cooler, I may stick that on the test system briefly to collect some of the CPU thermal data with. Because even though it's like, yeah, I wouldn't run this cooler in there indefinitely, especially since it might not actually fit in the case even. Yeah, I look, the Cooler Master case I've got the test system in, it supports 2 140mm fans in its front, but not a 280mm radiator, so yeah. But just for the curiosity, so that I have data besides it being on a box cooler, I think would be worth doing that, and just seeing how it is. And for those wondering, the specific Noctua cooler that I ordered is a U12. Is that what's called? It's only the 120mm version, which it needs. You can also. It has the TR4 cold plate on it, and you can get a 140mm version, but I can't use that on the system because I have the Asus Zenith Extreme, which Asus basically went against every standard for ATX with that, because they have the top PCIe slot, which is where I have the graphics card, right up against the CPU socket. So the 140 millimeter version of this cooler, it would always overhang that slot, meaning I'd have to use a different slot for the GPU. Technically, I could do that, but I don't want to. So this will fit, but the 120 millimeter, I still will need to. Not sure actually has an offset thing on there, which is pretty neat. I'm gonna have to put it in the highest offset, but it will fit. So yeah, that is an annoying situation. I hopefully will not need to really deal with it again after changing out this cooler. But yeah, that is that situation. But it still is just kind of funny. I've gone this long. I've always gotten a cooler, an all-in-one liquid cooler. Yeah. It'll be a fair change, a fine change. And nothing else is really coming to mind. Oh yeah, one thing I could mention. Apparently, update 5 for Satisfactory is hitting experimental October 26th, I think it was. I could be wrong on that. But it is like in a month. So I'll probably be in that then for at least one video, just looking at all the changes for that. But next week I think I should be able to be back to Mad Max. Yeah, and it's hopefully in like 2-3 weeks I'll have that GPU article ready to submit to OCC, put up on GitHub, so that you can see how my GPU collection minus the RX 580, because I don't want to take down the desktop for 2 hours to collect data. Well, 2 hours at a time. But it'll have, 7 GPUs, 2 different configurations for the RX Vega 64 that I have, across at least 4 different tests. Firestrike and Titan Spy, although it's either Firestrike or Firestrike Extreme, because I made a mistake when collecting some of the data, and Time Spy, always Time Spy, being seamlessly looped or repeated, so it loads itself back up each time. For all 8 configurations, though with the 2060 and the 2 Vega 64 configurations, because the 2060 and Vega 64, the GPUs I typically keep in the test system long term. It's easy for me to collect additional data, so that there is an additional. They have 5 runs instead of just 4. What happened was I collected all the seamless data at one point, and I made sure that it was all 1440p. When I went back and collected the pulsing data, I screwed up and was collecting standard Firestrike, which is 1920 by 1080. But with the 2060, I have the 1440p data pulsing, so Firestrike Extreme Pulse, and for the Vega 64, I needed to collect that data at the time, but I was able to. The 2060 was in it when I was testing the script, so I already had the data because it was one of the tests I did to see that everything worked. And yeah, so I think I've done enough rambling. Yeah, I don't really have anything more coming to mind, so I will be stopping and I will be making some notes as to how this update felt, which no, that's right, I did run into the one thing. The rotation, the AoE rotation, that I do like. It's not as far as I would necessarily like, but it's a very appropriate compromise. I'm happy with where it is. The AoE pattern in previews is nice. Nice. And I'm happy with it. And then, even though I didn't use them, the potions filling each night, I definitely approve of. I mean, seriously, I remember the thought. I don't remember if I ever said it in the review playthrough. I don't think I wrote it in the review. But the fact that it was basically just, oh yeah, you got 2-3 charges and that was it, it never felt worth it to me compared to armor. But definitely I could see, especially the mana potion, because when you run out of mana, it hurts. you do need to be careful with how much with managing your mana. But the fact that that'll regenerate each night, it's like, yes, I can definitely see myself integrating that into my strategy if I spend more time playing. But it is, I constantly have other things to do, other reviews, these articles, a book. I mean, yeah. All right. Definitely enough rambling. I shall see you next time.